Thank you so much, everybody, for taking the time to join us today. As KCDF, we felt it's important to either continue having the conversation around what opportunities are there for organizations like yourselves to take advantage of in terms of what we're able to offer under the technology program, but also importantly, just also to mention a few changes coming the next year that one of our biggest partners is actually going to be making, Microsoft. But importantly, I think it's for us to just acknowledge the fact, especially with the pandemic, we were thrust into a digital transformation, whether we wanted to or not, in terms of our work, working remotely, how we continue working with communities. So as KCDF in partnership with Techsoup, which we'll be talking a little bit more, my colleagues will be talking a little bit more about the partnership. We continue to feel it's important to bring to light in terms of what opportunities are there for nonprofits like yourselves to take advantage of, especially the fact that it does influence your budgeting and planning. So we want to be able to, especially for this particular webinar, we want to highlight what are the advantages or in terms of using Microsoft 365. To give a little bit of context, Microsoft is one of our biggest partners within the global network for Techsoup, of which KCDF is one of the partners. And this particular partnership has enabled over 390,000 organizations to access technology solutions, whether on-premise or on cloud. And thanks to that partnership in terms of Microsoft philanthropic efforts to ensure that nonprofits don't get left behind when it comes to accessing technology and continuing the good work that we continue to do working with communities across the nations or countries that we work in. So we continue to support these nonprofits to access these tools that they need. Today, our focus is Microsoft 365 and what is the right cloud-based products for your nonprofit. We want to take a look in terms of having a conversation about cloud licenses, which is the best for your nonprofit. How do you go about choosing the right product or service? And that's where we come in terms of being support to be able to show you in terms of the best alignment when it comes to choosing a Microsoft product. And I will allow my colleagues to take us through. I'm sorry, I actually realized that I did not introduce myself. Apologies for that. My name is Natasha Morigo. I'm the communications manager at KCDF, and I take lead in the technology program, which is dubbed Techsoup Kenya. Today, two of my colleagues will be taking us through to get a better understanding of what Microsoft 365 is, what kind of licensing will be suitable for your organization, and basically give us a walkthrough in terms of how do you then, if you do have the Microsoft 365, then how do you maximize what you already have? So my colleague is Lydia Wangeshi. She is the IT program officer as well as IT support in KCDF. And Alex Mwinde, who's the cloud administrator, and we work very closely with him. He's based in Techsoup, Africa. The two will be giving us a walkthrough in better understanding what Microsoft 365 is and how we can take advantage of that as nonprofits. I will allow Lydia. Kindly take us through. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. My name is Lydia Wangeshi, program officer supporting the technology donation program called Techsoup Kenya. If it is okay with everyone, we had already started recording this session. I hope that is fine because we plan on sharing it because we won't be able to share the slides. So instead of sharing the slides, we'll share the recording with everyone. So I'll handle this session with my colleague, Alex. So the two of us will take you through the session on what your nonprofit needs to know about Microsoft 365. We first started with we had a webinar earlier this year on the benefits of moving to the cloud and what is the cloud. And so we decided to follow up with this webinar on plans that are available to nonprofits regarding Microsoft Cloud. So that was the purpose of this webinar. I'll go ahead and share my screen. Also, feel free to include your questions in the chat box as we move along. So our objective for today will be, our objectives will be introducing the Techsoup program, Microsoft 365 for nonprofits, what that means, plans available and the benefits, how to get started with Microsoft 365, and then the last session will be Q&A. So Techsoup's mission is to act as a bridge between the nonprofit and the tech companies to enable connections and innovative solutions for a more equitable planet. So I'll just be able to explain more on what that means. So Techsoup is a technological donation and discount program that offers ICT solutions to nonprofits at a subsidized price. This program is under the Techsoup Global that is headquartered in San Francisco. And what they do is that they simply provide affordable software to nonprofit organizations only. So Techsoup in San Francisco wanted to spread this good news and these offerings to other nonprofits all over the globe. And so they identified partners in different parts of the world, to offer the same products. So for East Africa, they identified KCDF, which stands for Kenya Community Development Foundation. KCDF is a local grant-making foundation here in Kenya. And so KCDF does offer these products to nonprofits in East Africa. We also have partners in the other parts of Africa. In the southern region, we have Fambano based in South Africa. They're also in this call. So if you have anyone in that part of the region, feel free to chat them. And we also have a partner in West Africa for the West African region based in Ghana called Waxi. So Techsoup, KCDF acts as a bridge for you to get these affordable, genuine, also I must insist on genuine, because our prices are highly subsidized and so many nonprofits think that probably our products are not legit or genuine, but we do assure you they are, because we have a connection directly, or not a connection, but a partnership directly with Microsoft. So we do assure you that as much as our products are highly subsidized and very affordable, they are genuine and valid software. So before Techsoup's existence, nonprofits were going directly to the tech companies to request for the discounted software. So this proved a bit hectic. There was a lot of back and forth. The tech companies weren't sure whether the nonprofits are valid, whether they are, or maybe they are not a registered entity in the country where they are located. So you can see the lines are just moving haphazardly because there was no way for the tech companies to validate the nonprofits that they're indeed a genuine NGO and they required this discounted software. So when Techsoup came into existence, they acted as a bridge between the nonprofits and the tech companies. So Techsoup validates the nonprofits. If you're a Techsoup member here, when you registered, you remember we asked you for your certificate of registration and carry a PIN certificate, because we use those two to ascertain that you are an eligible and valid nonprofit. And so we communicate to the tech companies that NGO so-and-so is a valid nonprofit in Kenya, in South Africa, in Ghana, and they are eligible for these products. And then that's when you go ahead and place your orders for your preferred software. So the next slide is now us getting into now the plans that are available, Microsoft Cloud licenses available to nonprofits. Just as Natasha mentioned that digital transformation is at its high, especially when the pandemic kicked in and many nonprofits were forced to move to the cloud. And these were the plans that were available to them and still are available to nonprofits. I'll start with the first column, which has Microsoft 365 Business Basic, Business Standard, and Business Premium. These are for small and mid-sized nonprofits with not more than 300 employees or staff. And then the column below that, Office 365 E1, E3, E5, Microsoft 365 E3 and E5 are for large nonprofits with more than 300 employees. Also to my right, you'll see core licenses at the top. I don't know if you can see my cursor where I'm hovering it. And also on the right, there's another section for core license plus EMS plus Windows OS. So for core licenses, it means that you have the basic Office 365 applications. And for the second box, core license plus EMS plus Windows, it means that Microsoft 365 Business Basic, Microsoft 365 E3, and Microsoft 365 E5, you get the basic Microsoft 365 applications plus EMS, which stands for Enterprise, Mobility, and Security. This is for enhanced security features, which we shall also go through later on in the session. And you also get a free upgrade to Windows operating system. So for example, before you could upgrade from Windows 7 or Windows 8 to Windows 10 for free, but now we have Windows 11 out. So if you have Windows 10 and take any of these plans, 365 Business Premium, Enterprise E3, Microsoft 365 Enterprise E5, you also get to upgrade to Windows 11 for free. It's inclusive in the package. So I'll just go ahead to break down all the plans and the features that come with the plans. So I'll start with the Microsoft 365 Business Basic licenses. All these are for organizations with less than 300 staff members. Some are paid, some of these plans are paid, and some of them are free, completely free, meaning that they are a donation. So I'll just go ahead to break down each one of the three in the next slide. So we'll start with Microsoft 365 Business Basic. This is a completely free subscription for nonprofits who do not need desktop software or advanced security and compliance. By desktop software, we mean the Office applications such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So you cannot download these applications to your desktop, but you have the online version of these applications. So with the online version, you can collaborate, working on the same document at the same time in your organization with more than one person. So that's the benefit of having the online applications. Again, as I said, it's for employees with, it's for organizations with less than 300 staff. You also can install the Microsoft 365 Business Basic in not more than 5 devices. So in your computer, in your tablet, in your laptop, in your phone, as long as it's not more than 5 devices. And that way you can have, you can access your emails or your documents wherever you are and on any device. Also, something to mention is that these plans, actually all the plans that we'll mention, come with a storage size of 50 GB for your emails per user. So everyone in your organization will have a storage of 50 GB for their emails. And for OneDrive, which is for OneDrive for Business, for storage of documents, I'm sure most of us have a personal Gmail account, so it's very similar to Google Drive. So this is the Microsoft version for Google Drive called OneDrive for Business, whereby you have 1 terabyte for storage. This 1 terabyte is for per individual in your organization. It is not shared, so everyone will have 1 terabyte for storage of documents. We also have SharePoint Online, and with SharePoint, you can create an internal intranet, meaning that it is sort of a website, but for internal staff only. It is not accessed by external people. So with the intranet, you can also have a document repository for storage of probably manuals or documents that everyone needs access to. For example, if you get a new employee, instead of giving them the hard copy of the HR manual, finance manual, you can just deposit them or dump them in your SharePoint or intranet, and they have access to that and they can be reading along the way. So not to mean, I'm sure there's a line here that says Microsoft 365 Business Basic is for organizations that do not require advanced security compliance. This is not to mean that Business Basic, when you get it, it is not secure or safe. It is still safe, and you also have the 2-factor authentication, such that once you log into your 365 account on your laptop, you still get a code on your phone to just ascertain that it is you and no one else is accessing your account. So it is also safe, it is also secure, Microsoft 365 Business Basic. Again, this is completely free. So if your organization has 10, 5, 20, 100, 300 employees, this would be a better plan for you. Also for organizations with limited budgets, because nonprofits, we do understand that they do not have those big IT spendings, so as to enhance the efficiency using IT. So if you have a small budget for your IT, this would be a plan that we can recommend for you. The next plan is Microsoft 365 Business Standard. So Business Standard is also for nonprofits with less than 300 staff, but it is a paid subscription. And the difference between a free plan and a paid plan is that with a paid plan, you can download the Office applications to your desktop. So the Office applications that you can download are just the basic Office apps like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook. All those, you will have them on your desktop. So even if you do not have access to internet, you can still work on a Word document, on an Excel document, on a PowerPoint document. But for publisher and access, you only have online access, online version to these applications, just for publisher and access. But the rest you can download to your desktop. And the advantage with this is that you'll always be having up-to-date versions of these applications, because like currently we have Office 2021, which is out. That is the on-premise version, not accessed through the cloud. And so if you had Office 2016 and you wanted Office 2021, you would have to go back to the Techsoup Kenya catalog and purchase it so that you get the latest version. But with this paid Microsoft Cloud subscription, you always have up-to-date versions. It's just that it is a renewable subscription every year. But in the long run, it goes to in the long run, you actually make savings by going to the cloud, because you're not upgrading every time a version comes out. Microsoft automatically upgrades these applications for you. It automatically upgrades your whole 365 account for you. Again, you can install these applications in up to 5 devices. Everyone in your organization gets 50 GB of email and also 1 terabyte for OneDrive for storage of documents. You also have access to SharePoint, to Teams, to Yammer, all Office 365 applications. Even in the Business Basic, the free one, you still have Teams and other Office 365 applications. It's just that you cannot download Office applications to your desktop. But you have Teams, you have OneDrive, you have SharePoint, you have Yammer, you have Forms. There are quite a number of applications with the plans. So the last plan under Microsoft 365 business category is Microsoft 365 Business Premium. Again, for employees with less than 300 staff. And you also get a free upgrade to Windows 11 Pro. So when I started the session with the plans, I had mentioned that we had a section that had core licenses plus EMS plus Windows OS upgrade. So this is that plan, Microsoft 365 Business Premium. So you'll have access to all Office 365 applications. In terms of the Office applications, both the Words Excel, you'll have access to both online and offline, meaning offline, you can download these applications to your desktop. And whenever you get access to internet, the documents are automatically synced to the version that is stored in OneDrive. You also have 50 GB of storage, 1 terabyte of OneDrive, and you can also install the applications in up to 5 devices. So currently we have an ongoing offer which has been in existence since actually Microsoft 365 Business Premium was launched. And we don't think that this offer will be stopped anytime soon, or if it is for a certain limit for maybe the next 1 year or 2. As far as we know, it's for a lifetime, whereby we are giving 10 free licenses to nonprofits. And then now for additional licenses, you pay for them. So again, an organization with a limited IT spending and want to move to the cloud, and they are less than 10, they can take up this offer because it has the Office 365 applications. You can upgrade to Windows operating system for free, and also EMS features, which is enterprise mobility security for enhanced security features. So I'll let my colleague Alex come in at this point to just break down the security features, and then we will move on to the next slide. Alex, you're welcome.
Thank you, Lydia. I hope I'm audible enough. Please just confirm whether you can hear me. Okay, thank you. So Microsoft 365 Business Premium has quite a number of security features, and one of them is Azure ID Premium, which means that you not only get the free Azure ID version of that usually comes with Office 365, but you get the premium version, which has a couple of capabilities such as self-service password reset. So your users or your staff members will be able to reset their own passwords without having to contact the IT administrator. They will also be able to, or you as an IT administrator, you'll be able to set up the multi-factor authentication where you have, like Lydia mentioned earlier, getting an OTP code to your phone, or even using the Authenticator app from Microsoft, just to make sure that before you log in, you verify that you are who you are, or even enable biometrics to make sure that Microsoft can detect that the sort of fingerprint you're using is actually your own. So it's sort of just proving that you're actually who you are before you're given access to the Office 365 platform. You'll also be able to get things like conditional access. And conditional access here, I mean, being able to say that I only allow my staff members to log in from location X and X, or only log in using company or organizational issued devices. So you can set such restrictions such that nobody out there can actually log in without maybe your company laptop or your company phone, or your organizational phone, or nobody can log in even from home. They have to be in the office to do that. You'll also be able to do things like advanced threat analytics and protection, as well as information protection. And information protection here ideally means that you'll be able to set up or classify your data in terms of sensitivity. For instance, if you have organizational data that is not available out there externally, like maybe financial reports or financial forecasts, you can classify that data maybe like confidential, and create policies that will disable or block people from actually sharing this data out there. You also have Intune. So Intune here is just a platform to manage your devices. So if you normally issue your staff members or colleagues with the organizational devices such as mobile devices, either Android, iOS, or Mac OS, or even Windows devices such as laptops and desktops, you'll be able to configure policies just like you would using maybe on-premises Active Directory or on-premises infrastructure. You'll also be able to maybe locate these devices wherever they are, wipe these devices remotely. So in case maybe you have a loss in, or maybe a loss in one of the devices, or maybe some, crashed hard disk or something, and you want to, let's say, wipe that device remotely, you'll still be able to do it with Intune. And just, because everything here is on the cloud, so you don't need to set up any infrastructure or anything. Yeah, so I think that covers the security features. So back to you, Lydia.
Thank you, Alex. Before we move to the enterprise plans, we can answer some questions. And I see we have two in the chat box. Frederick, you're asking is it 5 devices at a time? Yes, so you can access Office 365 on your phone, on your laptop, on your tablet at the same time. Probably it might sign you out in one, but if you autosave the password, then you'll be able to access in all your devices at a time. And the second question from Charles, Ujima Foundation, how can we get these free donated licenses? Please, we will remind me to come back to this question towards the end, because it is part of the presentation. We'll guide you on how to get these plans. Masiga, you're asking, is it a hassle switching from one plan to the other? Actually, no, it is not. If maybe you are on Microsoft 365 Business Basic and want to switch to Microsoft 365 Business Standard, it is sort of a switch, like an on and off button. So you won't lose your documents, you won't lose your emails. It is not a hassle switching the licenses. You can assign and deassign also as you like. Dennis, clarify if it is 5 devices per person or organization. It is 5 devices per person. So everyone in your organization will be able to access Microsoft 365 in up to 5 devices for their own individual devices. Does it come with customized organization emails, the free one? Yes, all plans actually come customized with your domain. So once we provision you with the licenses, there's a section to add your domain. So if your email was lydia@gmail.com, it will now be lydia@kcdf.or.ke or lydia@kcdf.org. All the plans free and paid. You'll have customized organizational emails. Okay. I think I'll proceed to the next slide. Let me just stop share and share again. So we are done with the Microsoft Cloud licenses for small to medium-sized to mid-sized nonprofits with less than 300 staff. So we'll move to the enterprise plans. Again, for the enterprise plans, we have both paid and free. We have Office 365 E1, Office 365 E3, Office 365 E5 for nonprofits with more than for nonprofits with more than 300 employees. So we'll start with Office 365 E1. It is a paid subscription. Unfortunately, this subscription used to be a donation for a while, but it is no longer available because of demand. And so now it was changed to a paid subscription for large nonprofits. And with this, you can get up to a maximum of 2,000 licenses. Again, accessing the applications in up to 5 devices. And also you have online version of Office applications. So you cannot download the Office applications to your desktop, but you'll only have access to the online version. The enterprise plans also have extra security and compliance features. So we will recommend this for nonprofits dealing with sensitive information, or probably staff in your organization with sensitive data, such as maybe HR or the ED, because the enterprise plans have enhanced security features that are built in and are not an add-on. So we also get to the part of add-ons whereby you can have added security to the plans. But with some of these plans, like Office 365 Enterprise E1, some of the add-ons, security add-ons especially, are part of the plan. Again, security features are those that Alex had mentioned, but also if you need further clarification or have any questions, feel free to ask. We'll move to Office 365 Enterprise E3. So this is a paid subscription as well, but with E3, you can be able to download Office applications to your desktop. It is recommended for nonprofits that need compliance and security features, and you can get unlimited number of licenses with Office 365 E3. So Office 365 E1 is up to 2,000 licenses. So if you're 2,000 employees in your organizations or less, you can consider this plan. And if you're more, you can take Office 365 E3 that has unlimited number of licenses. It also, Office 365 E3 also has Exchange Online archiving, which I'll also call Alex to chime in on this, on the Exchange Online archiving, what that means.
Thank you, Lydia. So what Exchange Online archiving means is you get extra email storage when your mailbox is full. So Lydia mentioned about getting 50 GB of mail storage of mailboxes when on the business basic, standard, premium, and E1 and E3. So what this Exchange Online capability means is that when you reach your 50 GB and you cannot send or receive any more emails, you will have an option to turn on Exchange Online archiving, which will give you an extra 100 GB worth of emails. So your old emails, let's say from 5 or 10 years ago, will be archived on the Microsoft 365 servers. By archiving, I don't mean that they won't be accessible. You'll still be able to access them from any computer or any laptop or even your phone, only that they won't be, let me say, active in quotes. They'll sort of be like an, your old files that you don't access anymore. So you'll be able to free up your mailbox again and still reuse the mailbox. So initially, you will get 100 GB of Exchange Online archiving space, which is also extendable up to 1.5 terabytes. And from my experience, before you fill 1.5 terabytes of emails, you would have worked your whole life. So I don't think you would be able to actually fill this in. But this is quite a huge storage space that Microsoft is giving you. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. I've just gone back to the chat section and there are two more questions. One from Charles, Juma Foundation. I have subscribed to Office 365 Family. How does this compare to the ones you have described so far? Is it possible to connect with others, say Office 365 Enterprise C1? So we do not provide personal Office 365 plans like Office 365 Family. We do not have those subscriptions. So you would have to move to the nonprofit, Microsoft nonprofit subscriptions. Is it possible to connect with the others? I'm not quite sure if it is possible. Alex, are you able to advise if it is possible to have Office 365 Family as well as Office 365 E1?
So currently it's not possible because Office 365 Enterprise E1, as the name suggests, is only for enterprise or corporate organizations. So for family, you'll only be restricted to the plans that Microsoft have for family. And I'm sure they are very few of them. So if you wanted maybe to cross over to the nonprofits part of things, you would now have to register as a nonprofit, get validated by KCDF or Techsoup, and then now we'll be able to issue you or provision you with the licenses you require. Yeah.
Thank you for that, Alex. Dennis also has a question. Can one use a mix of the plans? Example, enterprise for staff handling sensitive data and the basic plan. Yes, definitely. You can have a mix and match of the plans. You can have the enterprise plans or maybe paid plans for organizations, for staff in organization with sensitive data, and then have basic or the free plans for the rest of your staff members. Both plans or all plans communicate together with no problem. You will not notice a difference in collaboration or in sending of emails. So you can have a mix and match of the plans. Also, just to cut on cost, we would also advise on that, to have a mix and match of the licenses or of the plans. Charles, again, kindly advise if I still want to keep the one I have and I also want to have one for the organization, can they work together? Yes, you can send an email from Office 365 Family to Office 365 E1 and vice versa, from Office 365 E1 to Office 365 Family, but the features are different in both plans. Since you don't want to risk losing data. Okay, when it comes to that, then I think what we will need to do is where now Techsoup comes in to offer email migration service to migrate your data in your Office 365 family plan to your Office 365 now organizational account. Alex, is that correct?
Yes. So what happens in this case is we replicate your emails and all your data that is in the Office 365 family plan to the new plan that is in the organizational plan. Verify that everything is moved across perfectly, that there's no data that is missing, and then now optionally, and this is up to you to decide whether you want to close the Office 365 family plan, because I assume you're also paying some amount of money towards that. Yeah. So
okay.
I see there's also a follow-up question. If migration is possible, then that would be great. This will also include swiping the emails. Yes, exactly. So we migrate the emails as well as the files, that is your documents, and any other thing that is lying in the Office 365 family package to now the new organizational plan. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex. We are almost done, so I'll just go to the next slide, which is Office 365 Enterprise E5. So this plan is recommended for nonprofits that need advanced compliance and security features also. It is a paid subscription and you can get an unlimited number of licenses. Again, you can you have access to online versions of Office applications, and also you can download the Office applications to your desktop. Something that differentiates this plan from the other enterprise plans is that it also comes with Power BI Pro, inclusive of this plan. But for the other plans, you will have to purchase it as an add-on. But with Office 365 E5, you get Power BI Pro for analysis of your data. You also have audio conferencing and font system capabilities. You also have My Analytics, as well as Microsoft Stream. Alex, you can speak on My Analytics and Microsoft Stream, as well as the security features under E5.
Yes, Lydia, thank you. So I'll start with My Analytics. And My Analytics is a tool that Microsoft has provided to help you be more productive. So by being more productive, I mean, it will give you sort of insights on what you need to do or what your plans for the day are. So for instance, let's say yesterday you received an email from your boss that said that you need to work on this financial report and all that. Tomorrow in the morning, Microsoft Analytics will send you an email or a pop-up, just an alert to show you that you have these pending tasks from your that was sent from person X and X, and you need to work on them during this in the next maybe a couple of hours. So this will make you be a bit productive. My Analytics also helps you to block your time. So if you want to focus, maybe you want to dedicate maybe 2 or 3 hours just to focus on a certain project, you can use My Analytics to block off your time. So any meeting that is maybe any person who sends you a meeting request during that time, it will be maybe automatically declined because at that point you're focusing on a certain project. Microsoft Stream, this you can look at it as an internal organizational, I like to call it YouTube, because it's sort of a streaming platform that you can upload your videos. Let's say you have a meeting that is everybody has turned on their camera and you would like maybe to have this meeting viewed later on or share with other people. You can upload it on Stream and be able to share with the entire organization. It's free. It's part of the E5 package. And right now, what Microsoft is trying to do is also cascade it to the other plans as well, because I think they've seen that it's a very good service and very many people are actually using it. So personally, I've used it before, and I think most of the team's video recordings that you can record using Teams are stored on Stream as well. So with Stream also, you'll be able to sort of delegate permissions or restrict permissions on who can access which particular video and who cannot. Security features. So of course, you'll get all the security features in E3, but now with E5, you get more advanced security features. So with E5, you get Office 365 Advanced Threat Protection, which protects your emails from things like phishing, spoofing, malware, and spamming. So you'll also get real-time detection and response to some of these threats, and you'll be able to configure policies such as safe attachment and safe links, which ideally mean that if somebody would send you an email with a link that has, let's say, some malware or a virus, that link will be scanned before that email would be delivered to your organization or to your staff members. This, of course, will ensure that you're protected against all these threats that come through emails and attachment and links. You'll also get cloud app security. So recently, Microsoft renamed this from Cloud App Security to Defender for Cloud Apps, which means that Office 365 will guard all your cloud applications, including Box, Zoom, any sort of cloud application that you use or that you have saved data in, that is organizational data, will be secured by Microsoft for free if you get these E3 or E5 packages. Yeah, thank you, Lydia. I think that's it for E5, sorry.
Okay, thank you, Alex. There are a few questions in the chat. There's one from John Samuel. Is there a way that I can retrieve some information from my previous email address using Office 365? If I can try answer this, John Samuel, but also if it doesn't, if you don't provide the answer that you're asking to, just feel free to unmute and ask. But once we do email migration for you and migrate your old emails to Office 365, you'll still be able to access your old emails in Office 365. So we migrate everything in your previous email service provider. If it is maybe you're using Gmail or you're using webmail, we will download all those emails, sent items, everything in the inbox, and migrate all of them to Office 365. So you can search for them under Office 365. But if I haven't
Thank you very much, Lydia.
Okay.
Oh, you have only that now. The following question that I would ask on that is: this is a scenario. Okay, it's a webmail, and it's a scenario where that mail had become somehow dormant. So in this case, can it still be shifted or transferred into my current mail so that, or that is now too late?
If it is dormant, do you still have access to it? Do you have login credentials to it?
No, it has become completely non-operational.
Oh, okay. Then there's no way.
And it's a mail that I've used from 2011 up to 2020. So can you imagine all and its organizational email where I've had all the contacts, the communications, and the documents for almost 9 years.
Alex, you can advise if it is possible.
Yeah, I would first like to ask you a question. So do you still pay for this email address or web hosting spaces where you've hosted your emails?
It stopped early this year.
Okay, and that will be a bit tricky because first you would have to, let's say, contact your current email or your former email hosting provider. Yeah, so that you can gain access to that account. And then once you gain access to the account, then we would be able to retrieve all the emails.
Yeah, okay. The other, probably the most, again, tricky part of it is the host or the service provider was in Netherlands. It was actually .nl. So the service provider was actually Dutch in Netherlands.
Okay. Do they still exist, or is it a closed company completely?
No, it exists, only that
Okay.
our subscription to them is what ceased, or that is what was now, because we are now changing to .org, that is in Kenyan one, but now we moved from .nl, that is the Netherlands.
Okay, so from my experience is even if your subscription is inactive, they'll still hold your emails because they are hoping that you'll still come back to them. So there's a possibility that you can retrieve your emails, but you would have to contact them so that you have access to the email address. Not only the email address, but I'm sure they provided you with maybe some DNS control panel where you can publish your DNS records or something like that. So if you have access to that, it's possible to retrieve your emails, and they can be actually transferred over to Office 365 or the new .org or .or domain.
Okay, let me pick it up and follow it up, because it has really been a very, very serious headache for me. So if it can be practical, or it can work, then I'll be a very happy guy.
Yeah, please. I'm sure that's a lot of data to lose. 9 years is not child's play. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you, John Samuel. Another question from Frederick on Power BI. Does the package also come with it? Does the free package also come with it? Does it allow me to import Excel data to Power BI directly, or I have to download the Excel document and upload it? So Power BI is only inclusive it's inclusive only in Office 365 E5, but you can have it as an add-on in the free plans. So it is not inclusive in the free plans, but you can have it as an add-on. And yes, you will be able to import your Excel into Power BI directly. So you'll have to purchase Power BI separately if you get a free Microsoft 365 plan. So let me just finish up with the slide, because we are almost done, and then we'll proceed to answer the rest of the questions. So Microsoft 365, Office 365 add-ons. Alex, will you pick up this slide?
Yes. So I think I talked about Exchange Online archiving earlier on. So for the interest of time, I'll skip that point. I'll talk about Defender for Office 365 Plan 1 and Plan 2. So Defender for Office 365 protects the organization emails or email platform from any vulnerabilities that are out there. So this, I think I also mentioned this earlier, is configuring policies like safe attachment and safe links, where any attachments or links will be scanned before they are delivered to your organization for malware and any viruses. And in case there's any found malware or viruses, depending on the configuration settings that you put in, the email can either be returned to sender or blocked from being delivered, or the email content delivered but the attachment or link removed permanently. So you will get the text part of the emails, but the attachment and the links will be removed completely, just to make sure that you're safe. You'll also get capabilities such as automation, investigation, remediation, and education. So automation and investigation mean that in the event that maybe somebody would send you an email that has very advanced, let's say, malware or viruses, and for some reason it sort of creeps in through the cracks of Microsoft and they are not able to detect it. Microsoft will give you some sort of advanced threat protection such that even if that malware is delivered to your mailbox, Microsoft has a sort of sandbox where emails that are sent to people open in. And by sandbox means that it's that sort of a layer 2 protection from malware and viruses, such that even if it creeps through the cracks, it will still be rescanned now using the advanced threat protection capabilities. And that will be, the malware will be caught and you'll be able to remediate. And in terms of education, in case maybe you see like a constant person getting many malware and many spamming and phishing emails, you can create some educational or simulation emails or programs such that, or which actually enable you to educate your staff members on what phishing emails are, what spamming emails are, and how to differentiate them and how to deal with them in the future. So it offers all these capabilities. I also mentioned about Office 365 extra storage, which gives you an additional storage in case, let's say, your emails, your SharePoint or OneDrive is full. You'll be able to, let's say, pull some sort of shared storage from another location and add it to your Office 365 platform. Of course, there's a fee to this. Lydia maybe could also share the fees later on after the webinar. And then finally, you also get audio conferencing. So this allows the host to schedule meetings that allow up to 250 users to join the call from their phones. So instead of joining maybe a Teams call using the Teams application, you can actually dial in to your organizational Teams platform and join a conference call. I think that about covers it. Lydia, back to you.
Okay. Thank you, Alex. So that's it regarding to available Microsoft 365 plans to nonprofits. And so if you have any more additional questions, just feel free to put them in the chat box. The next slide is on Techsoup courses. Techsoup offers courses to strengthen capacity for nonprofits on digital transformation through online training. So my colleagues will also share the courses link in the chat box so that all of you can review it. And so these courses are available to nonprofits at a subsidized fee. And they're courses that help you on your digital transformation. Some of the courses, we have a course which we call, a section that we called Microsoft's Digital Skills Center for Nonprofits. These courses are courses that help you to make use of the Office 365 applications such as Teams, PowerPoint. So there are courses on how to use, what is Teams, how to use Teams, how to create a Teams channel, how to create a meeting, a virtual meeting on Teams, if it is OneDrive, how you can synchronize your desktop documents to be replicated in your OneDrive, how to share documents, how to give rights to documents that you share. If it is on PowerPoint, it also shows you how to create slides that you can use for your presentations. So they are quite detailed courses, but other than the Microsoft courses, we also have other Techsoup courses on As we mentioned when we started this meeting, we said a KCDF is a local grant-making organization. And so with that, we do get proposals to review, to offer grants. And so in line with that, we have courses that help you with proposal development, resource mobilization, how to use social media to put out your stories, effective marketing for your nonprofit. There are quite a number of courses on the link that my colleagues will share. So we urge you to just go through them, and if any of them interest you, just feel free to reach out to us. Also, just to mention that we currently have an offer ongoing till the 31st of December, specifically for courses on Microsoft Teams and Excel courses. So all the courses are paid, but for Microsoft Teams and Excel courses, we do have a 50% discount on this. So once you register on the Techsoup courses website and enroll on a Microsoft Teams or Excel course, you'll be able to get 50% off if you apply the coupon at the bottom of this presentation, which is AF50, the percentage symbol, and then the words % off. So if you pay now for the course and get the 50% discount, and you won't have finished the course by 31st December, you'll still be able to continue with the course the following year, which is next year. At no additional cost, you will get a certificate once once you complete the courses successfully. Again, if we to put it in the chat. The next slide. Skill Center courses that I have mentioned, courses on how to use Outlook, courses on PowerPoint, courses on Word for Nonprofit, courses on SharePoint, on OneDrive, Power BI. There are quite a number on the website. But specifically, the current coupon only applies to Teams courses and Excel courses. But if you decide to move to the cloud to Microsoft 365, we just urge you to also enroll your staff in the courses for easier understanding on how to use the Office 365 applications, but also we can provide training on these applications if need be. So that's the end of our presentation today, or of the slides. We have our contacts there, our website, KCDF website, as well as Techsoup website. You can just take note of that. Also, in an email address that you can reach out to us directly, which is support@techsoupkenya.or.ke. Our telephone number 0790-476-499, which is shared between myself and my colleague Hosea. So if you call that number, you'll either reach myself or my colleague Hosea. And now we can go into the questions. Had left off from the Power BI question. So the next one is from Dennis. Does Techsoup provide domain hosting services? No, unfortunately, we do not provide domain hosting services. So you will have to get a different reseller to host your domain. How safe is it migrating like from Gmail to 365? This is Grace. Grace, if it is your personal, because we have nonprofits that do not have a domain, and so they use their personal Gmail accounts for official communication or official emails. So for that, we wouldn't advise you to migrate your personal Gmail to Office 365 because you also have your personal data in there. So if you move to 365, it will have to be a completely new account whereby you'll not have access to old emails because your old emails are mixed with your personal emails. But if you are on Google Workspace for nonprofit, which is also an email solution offered by Google, if it is Google Workspace for nonprofits, which is for organizational emails, then that we can migrate to Office 365 with no issues, because we know you've been using that for official communication only. Again, if you feel like you're not satisfied with the answer, feel free to unmute and ask the question. Charles, is it possible to connect Office Online directly to our website so that our staff members can only access it through our website? Can KCDF assist in this linkage if possible? So this is not possible, Charles, because Office Online is just a replica of Office Offline, the one that you download to your desktop, the ones that I'm assuming you currently use in your organization. So that the offline version cannot be connected in any way to your website for staff to access. Neither is Office Online. It is not possible to connect it to your website. So there are two independent platforms which unfortunately cannot be interconnected. So you'll only use Office Online with your staff internally and be able to collaborate on documents, but it cannot be integrated to your website.
Just maybe to ask Charles a question. By Office Online, do you mean your emails or the Word, PowerPoint, Excel, and all that? Maybe you could come off mute and.
Thanks a lot. Are you able to hear me now? I'm off mute.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, great. Yeah. So I'm working for an organization as well that has managed to do this. So we are actually able to log in directly through the website. We click it and we're able to get Office 365, all those that you've mentioned. So I was just wondering if this could also be the same. Thank you.
Do you mean accessing Office 365 through our web browser?
Exactly, yes.
Oh.
Yeah, not a web browser. So let's say Ujima Foundation. So you click www.ujimafoundation.org. When you click, amongst other things is a button, but now if you click, ask you to enter your Office 365 email address and password, and then you can get all those Office 365 thingies. So instead of accessing Office 365 through the web browser, you actually access it through the website of the organization.
Okay, yeah. So in that case, you
if possible, once you've done this, I'll be able to share with you screenshots, and then you can get exactly what I mean.
Yeah, I think that would be
Charles,
great. Screenshots.
Yeah, Charles, we can pick this up offline after this call. Probably you can share the screenshots and then we'll pick up the conversation from there. Sam, with GDPR, they need to have the information stored safely and readily accessible to you as the client, even if you have suspended the services. I think Sam was responding to the question on the organization that can't access their emails that are hosted in Netherlands. So that was Samantha's response. Again, Samantha, Dai are a Techsoup's partner for the Southern region in Africa. So if we have any participants in this call from that part of Africa, please feel free to side chat Sam or Dai. Frederick, on data collection, does Office 365 have features similar to Google Forms and Google Docs that can be used to collect data remotely? Yes, Frederick. So actually, Office 365 and Google are competitors in this area of cloud emails, and they're very similar. So Google Docs that has online version of Word, Excel, PowerPoint is still available under Microsoft 365. And you also have forms in Microsoft 365. It's part of the applications under forms. So you will still, and also have access to online versions of Office applications, the Words, the Excel, the PowerPoint. Also to mention is that your personal Gmail accounts have a storage of 15 GB. But if you get Google Workspace for nonprofits, you have a storage of 30 GB. That covers both your emails and your Google Drive. But for Microsoft, the size is bigger, because for Microsoft, you have 50 GB separate for your emails, and you have 1 terabyte separate for your OneDrive for storage of documents. So if you're an organization with many documents that you want to store in the cloud, probably you will consider Microsoft 365 as opposed to Google Workspace for nonprofits, but also it's just a matter of preference. Charles, we've answered that. And then Sarah Martha. So for us that got the donations, which plans are we on? Oh, okay. Sarah Martha, I think I know what you mean. I think we'll have that conversation after this call, which I'll be able to email you and advise you on that. Are the courses free? No, the courses are paid, but also highly subsidized compared to other organizations that offer such courses. Is it possible to share this recording? Yes, definitely. We'll share the recording after this call, after this webinar. So Maura, we won't be able to share the slides, unfortunately, but in turn, we'll share the whole recording, and with that, you'll be able to follow through. Samantha, thank you very much. Vitalis, can you have like a group cost payment package for Techsoup, or is it solely individual? I'll let Natasha speak on this.
Yes, Vitalis, yes, you can, in terms of having a group enrollment. That's very possible. Just reach out to us and we can see how to best go about it, but it's possible. You have your organization in full, or some of the staff members register with us.
Thank you, Natasha. Joseph, what is the cost of comprehensive Microsoft 365, Office 365, especially for financial management? What is your subscription fee for the package? Okay, Joseph, I think you're asking what, how much we charge for the Microsoft 365 plans. So for Microsoft 365 Business Basic, that one is free. It is a completely free donated plan. Microsoft 365 Business Standard is $3 per user per month. Microsoft 365 Business Premium is $5 per user per month. But don't forget that for Business Premium, we said the first 10 licenses are free. And then our additional licenses is now what you'll be expected to pay, which is $5 per user per month. Office 365, the enterprise plans, Office 365 E1 is $2 per user per month. Office 365 E3 is $4.50 per user per month. And Office 365 E5 is, I think, $15 per user per month. I hope that answers your question, Joseph, but I'll also include a link in the chat of the a comparison of the packages of the plans together with the pricing. But also these prices are also highly subsidized to nonprofits, because if you go to any other reseller and not Techsoup, for example, Office 365 E3, which goes for $4.50 per user per month, you will most likely get it for maybe $7 to $8 per user per month. So we still try to be as affordable as possible for nonprofits or for NGOs. Yeah. Yes, Charles, we can. Sorry about that. Sorry about my internet. Yes, Charles, we can have a conversation after this. Just email us using the support email address with the screenshots, and then we can pick up the conversation from there. Kindly share the training catalogs with the time frame. The catalog was shared, but Angeline, please, you can reshare it. And with the time frame. So the courses are self-paced. So you do them at your own time. There's no time frame to it. So they are self-paced. So whenever you get time, you just log in and you can read for maybe 10 minutes. The following day, you can do the same, but they're just self-paced. You're not timed to them. So a question, before I forget, that was asked initially was how to get started with the Techsoup courses. Sorry, how to get started with the Microsoft 365 plans. So the first step is to register on the Microsoft for Nonprofit website. I'll include the link. I think I have it open. I'll just share the link. You register on the Microsoft for Nonprofit website. If you're a Techsoup member, the registration form is very similar, but even if you're not a Techsoup member, they just ask for basic information such as what your organization does, your mission, contact, address, approximation of your annual budget, and then Microsoft gets that registration and they send to Techsoup for validation. No one else does validation, if I can say, in the world. It is only Techsoup that does due diligence to ascertain that nonprofits are eligible in the country that they are located. So they get back to Microsoft, tell them this organization has been successfully validated or not. We also communicate the same. And then Microsoft now sends the communication to your organization. So if it is a successful validation, we now proceed to provision you with the Microsoft Cloud licenses. I'm just sharing the link shortly. We have a few more minutes. This session was supposed to end at 11:30, so we have 9 more minutes. So again, feel free to ask questions that you may have. So that's the registration link, which again, we can include in the email that we'll send out in the recording for easier retrieval. So that is where you go and register, and Microsoft will get back to you in regards to the validation status. If it is a successful validation, we proceed to provision you with your preferred licenses. Also, if you would be interested in some services that we offer, we do offer redirect as well as email migration. DNS redirect, meaning that you point your emails to the Microsoft servers. If it is if there are new email accounts, then there'll be no need for email migration. For example, if you are using your personal Gmail for work emails and you're moving to Office 365, we'll just charge you for DNS redirect service. But if you'd like to move your emails from maybe webmail to Office 365, we can also come in and assist with that. Do you offer technical support in case one got stuck maneuvering through 365? So once yes, we do offer support, what we call managed services. So if you are stuck, we can come in and assist. But if you also take up the email migration package, it is inclusive of training for the Office 365 administrator. So your organization will be able to appoint an individual that will be able to manage your Office 365 and will train that individual, who in turn now is expected to train the staff in your organization. But if you would require us to come in and train everyone in your organization on the Office 365 applications, that is also possible. And if it is a one-off probably issue that you need help with in regards to Office 365, we can also assist with that. So below, a link that I've just shared is for comparison of the plans, just what we've gone through in detail. The plans are available for small and mid-sized nonprofits, as well as the enterprise, big nonprofits. So that's why you'll be able to get plan applications that come with each plan and also the pricing. How safe is it migrating like from Gmail to 365? Alex, you can cover this, though I think we mentioned it, but you can still speak on it.
Yeah, I think I had seen this message earlier. So how is it safe to migrate from Gmail to Microsoft 365? So migration is very safe. So if you're migrating from, let's say, you were previously as an organization on Gmail or Google Workspace, that's how they call it, and you want to migrate to Office 365, the encryption from Gmail to Office 365 is end-to-end encrypted. And end-to-end, I mean, there is no way or no sort of attack that can happen in between the migration. The communication is encrypted to and from Office 365. So there is really no way maybe somebody can sort of hijack your data or view your data. Even Microsoft themselves and Gmail themselves won't be able to see that traffic in between until the migration is complete. So it is very safe. However, unfortunately, like Lydia mentioned earlier, it's not possible to migrate from your personal Gmail account to Office 365 account. You would have to set up a new Office 365 tenant. Yeah, and the reason this is not supported is because Microsoft doesn't want you to replicate your personal emails to the corporate or organizational platform, because of course of GDPR and information protection compliance policies. Yeah.
Thank you, Alex,
Okay,
for
Lydia.
that. Also, we do encourage you to give us suggestions on what sort of topics you would like covered during these webinars. I know we'll be having one next quarter, sometime next year, but in the first quarter for security, I think cyber security. So we'll be able to tackle that. But if you have any more suggestions, please feel free to put them in the chat of topics that you would want covered during these webinars.
Thank you, Lydia, and thank you, Alex, really for giving us a very comprehensive overview of Microsoft 365 and what options nonprofits like ourselves have when it comes to choosing the right cloud-based solution, depending on our various organizations and how we look like. I really also want to appreciate everybody, the organizations which are represented here, including the Southern African partners. I've also seen Uganda is here. Thank you so much for taking the time. As Lydia mentioned, we will be holding these conversations regularly, just so that we are able to better understand what cloud is, demystifying cloud, and what options we have, and how we can take advantage of the opportunities that Techsoup is giving for nonprofits in terms of accessing technology at very discounted prices. But like we said, we will share this recording. Please feel free to reach out to us. We are quite available in terms of just walking you through to get a better understanding of what we do. How can we support your organization? If you're having technical challenges, we are also able to support you. So we've shared our contacts, our website for more information. Feel free to reach out to us. We can work with you in your journey towards offering good technology solutions for your organization. I really do not want to take any more of your time. We are top of the hour in terms of what we had committed to in timing. Thank you, everybody. An appreciation to Alex and Lydia. Thank you for taking us through. We will keep communicating, and hopefully next year we also continue the conversation. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day. For those in Nairobi, keep warm. It's quite a rainy day, but everybody else keep safe. Thank you. And I know it's December. If we don't see each other, let me just say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you to Natasha, for everyone, Lydia and Alex, for a wonderful session. So informative and very helpful. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Great. I think now